My name is Chris Nelson, and for the next 10 days, I will be doing my first solo backpacking trip through Belize. I will be exploring Belize's forests and caves, as well as amazing snorkeling. And lastly, I'll be doing a 3-day boat tour down the barrier reef, camping on islands on the way down. And this is the island we're going to sleep on tonight. There were at least 6 skeletons there. Alright, Belize. Why Belize? Well, there's so many reasons why I chose Belize, and I don't understand why more Americans don't travel to Belize. English is the national language. Everyone speaks English. They accept US dollars. Conversion rate is 2 Belize dollars to 1 US dollar. It's similar time zone, it's just south of the US. It's a pretty short flight. It's only like 2.5 hours from Houston. Also, they're open for tourism as long as you have your vaccine card or a negative COVID test. Another reason I went was I saw one of my favorite travel vloggers, Carl Watson. He did the 3-day, 2-night boat tour down the Barrier Reef, and I just thought, I gotta do that. So I did more research on Belize, and I found more things I wanted to do, and decided to do 10 days instead of just that trip. So I booked my flight, and off I went. Okay, so I finally made it to Belize. The line for immigration was 2.5 hours, and my flight was like 2.5 hours. So right now I'm walking to get my car rental. Okay, I got my rental car, some sort of Kia. And it's really super easy because right over there is the building I walked out of, and I just walked straight across to right here. Crystal Auto Rental. And now I'm going to drive to San Ignacio.
I'm moving far away to a sunny place where it's just you and me. Feels like we're in a dream. You know what I mean.
Like 5 minutes away from my Airbnb. I think I made it. So I was greeted by Peter when I first arrived, and he walked me around his property a little bit, pointed out some mangoes. He said I just missed the mango season. He and his wife spent a good 30 minutes talking to me about different activities I could do for the next 2 days. So he's really great. I recommend talking to him if you ever get an Airbnb here. I think he has like 3 or 4 different houses you could rent on Airbnb. This one I rented is $45 a night, so highly recommend it. I did go out to a restaurant called Guava Lim. The food was amazing. I was starving and the food was amazing, so I was having a great time. I got a couple beers. I guess they put a napkin inside your beer as courtesy to like kind of wipe the outside just for cleanliness. It was a little bit on the pricey side. I think I paid 58 Belize dollars, which is 29 US dollars. But it is one of the nicer restaurants in this area, and so you're sort of paying for that. next day I got up early and headed to one of Belize's most famous Mayan ruins, Xunantunich. So the Xunantunich Mayan ruins are only a 15-minute drive from San Ignacio. I recommend getting there right when they open at 8 a.m. When you get there, you have to cross the river on this boat thing. It's free, but they ask for a tip. You don't need to tip them. After you cross the river, it's only a quarter mile up the road to the entrance. The entrance fee is 10 Belize dollars or 5 US dollars, and parking is free. After you pay your entrance fee, you walk up this hill, walk up some stairs, and the Mayan ruins will be on your left.
And fate. The sound of iron shards stuck in my head. The thunder of the drums dictates the rhythm of the thoughts, the number of days, the rising of the hearts ahead. From the dawn of time to the end of days, I will have to run away. I want to feel the pain and the bitter taste of the blood on my lips again.
So I got there at 8 a.m. right when they open, and I was the only one there for probably the first 20 minutes. And one of the security guards said, since there's no one around, I'll let you go to the top. I guess they closed off the top for COVID because it's kind of close quarters, like passing by people, you're really close to each other. But I was able to go to the top because there was no one there. So another benefit of going early is you might be the only one there. Xunantunich was definitely one of my favorite parts of the entire trip, but you really only need maybe 10-15 minutes there to really explore the whole thing. Maybe 20 minutes after they opened, I started seeing people show up in groups with tour guides, and by the time I left, there were maybe 3 or 4 vans and 5 or 6 cars in the parking lot, and a bunch of people heading towards the ruins. After that, I moved on to the Blue Hole. The drive to the Blue Hole and St. Herman's Cave is beautiful, and from San Ignacio, it's a little over an hour drive. Okay, I arrived at Blue Hole National Park. I guess there's a cenote here. I had no idea. I guess that's why it's called Blue Hole. It's 8 Belize dollars, and it gives you access to the cenote and the cave, which is a mile down the road. So first I'm going to do the cenote. Whew. Nice.
Million miles away. And I'm sipping on moonbeams, trading hours for the same thoughts I've already tried, and I can't seem to find the cool side. You're my wildflower, honey, girl, you're sweet and you're sweet, bittersweet like summertime.
After St. Herman's Cave, there's an optional hiking trail for those interested. Here's the map. So, Crystal Cave. Made it to Crystal Cave. It's that down there. I don't know if it's worth it. If you can't really like go into it. That's where I went. Oh, good thing I turned back. I went up. This is where I found the snake. I've encountered a snake. It's green. Doesn't look very happy. I just need to get by, but I can't. There's the rock wall there. Okay, green snake. I'm gonna use the GoPro on a stick to move it. There it is. Ooh, does not look happy. Oh, never mind. That's Herman's exit. That's pretty cool. And this is where I am right now. So after the hike, I went back to San Ignacio where I ended up getting some food, got some groceries, fresh mango, and got some sleep because the next day I had to get up early to do what ended up being my favorite part of the entire trip. Okay, today I am doing the ATM caves. Unfortunately, they don't allow cameras, so I'm only going to show you footage of getting there, and then I'm going to show you some pictures, some Google images, but this was definitely my favorite part of the trip so far, by far. It was really unique. You get a combination of like cave exploring, swimming, like rock scrambling around through cracks and stuff, and towards the end of the cave, I felt like it was a museum. I was expecting just a couple of little pottery pieces here and there, but there were hundreds of them everywhere. And not just like one skull, there were like at least 6 skeletons there in different locations. It was amazing, and I highly recommend if you ever come to this area in San Ignacio, you have to do the ATM cave tour. The next day I went to the Green Iguana Conservation Project. This is located in downtown San Ignacio. A little difficult to find, you just have to look for the sign. I met up with a couple I met at the ATM cave tour.
Welcome back.
Oh, this guy wants some.
The drum of an iguana. So they can hear pretty well as well, but if that get damaged, it can be a serious death. But because they normally lay them underneath sand, there's so many air pockets in it, so air still flows underneath. So they're still breathing just because they're submerged. Like this one, see the cord still attached on?
Oh my gosh.
This is a really newborn. So even though we've seen this one out, this one probably was born a couple days ago. Alright? So yeah, this one, we'll still say it's a day old because it just popped out, but it's not probably a truly 1 day old. I put my money on this one here.
Yeah. After this, I went to Aja Chocolate, which is also in downtown San Ignacio. They provide a free chocolate tour. They show you how the beans are grown, all the stages of the chocolate. They even let you grind the beans into a paste, and then they take over and show you how it's properly done. And you get to see how the beans turn into a paste and the fats and oils get released naturally. You get to try it the way the Mayans tried it, by putting it in hot water, adding a little bit of honey. It was really quite an experience. This is one of the last things I did in San Ignacio. San Ignacio will always have a special place in my heart. The people in this city are so nice and genuine, and I have nothing but great things to say about this place. I highly recommend it if you ever are in this area, to visit this town for a few days, get to know the people, explore what the city has to offer, and learn the culture and the history of the area. It's very fascinating. But now I'm off to the islands of Belize, where I go snorkeling, swim with sharks, take a boat tour down the barrier reef, eat lobster, catch fish. It's a great time.